Hello, social media family. Yes. So it is unapologetically true. Huh. I am a fan of Kevin Samuels. Again, he's helping us find our men. And one thing that he said to she loves destroying stuff. That's her thing. It's her thing. One thing that he said that really stuck in my mind is, and maybe this doesn't apply to everybody, and actually I'm pretty sure, yeah, it doesn't. It applies to people in terms of dating high value men. And like I said, I've dated all over the financial spectrum of men, and I and this might be a part of it because I don't care how much money a dude makes. I don't. And as long as you're able to support yourself and won't, anyway, I've already established that. But I don't care how much money a dude makes. So I've dated all around the spectrum of finances in terms of men. And one thing that he Kevin Samuels said is when it comes to people dating high value men, and I think this is pretty much exclusively for that. But for the people who call in and they're like, yeah, I mean, I've dated high value men before, like whatever. He's like, if you have not gone with him to a restaurant that requires reservations, he's yeah, because they'll be like, I've had high value men want to date me for marriage. He's like, did that high value man take you to a restaurant that requires reservations? Well, I mean, and whenever somebody hits you with the I mean, they mean no good. But it's like, well, I mean, and that made me think like, wow, I don't think anybody has ever treated me to a restaurant that requires reservations. And for the most part, although, see, here's the thing: one, I don't date people long enough. And two, well, I've not officially ever been proposed to. In my 39 years, nobody has ever proposed to me. Nobody wants all of this for the rest of their lives. For the rest of our lives. Um, Two. And three, I very much believe in Dutch treating, particularly for the first date. Now, after that, we can go back and forth. And in the going back and forth on the other dates, I've yet to be invited to a restaurant that requires reservations on his tab. I will say this, and this is because I just didn't realize this. The guy that I talked about before up here, I went with him to I almost said Bennigan's. Definitely not Bennigan's. But see, I keep forgetting the name of that place, and it's not Hula Hands, which is the restaurant in Baltimore. But uh I can't think of the name of it. Anyway, we went there because we our agreement is that we'll just Dutch treat it because we Dutch treated the first date, but then it got to the point that he was like, I don't know how I feel about us doing dates. Like, let's just hang out as friends. It's like whatever. And one person would still pick up the tab each time after our first date. It would be one person picking up the tab, and he's like, I don't know how I feel about that because it feels too much like a date when one person picks up the tab, so we should always go Dutch. And it's like, okay, whatever. Anyway, all of that to say, we went to the restaurant, and I get there, and they're like, do you have reservations? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I never thought that we would need reservations for this restaurant. It's a reservations restaurant. Anyway, um, they were they worked us out for their non-reservation customers. Long story short, but and it was still a wonderful experience. Anyway, outside of that experience, no one has ever taken me to a restaurant that requires reservations. But again, no one has ever officially proposed to me. I've also never had that. So, in terms of Kevin Samuels saying, well, has he ever taken you to a restaurant that requires reservations in reference to the women like I've dated high value men before and I've had high value men want me for marriage. He's like, did he ever take you to a restaurant that requires reservations? Now, I've never had that. And hmm, according to the book Think and Grow Rich, you shouldn't say such negative things. Like I was about to say that I've see, and I'm not going to say it. But don't speak about what you don't have. Don't speak that in your realm of being. Think in terms of what you will have, what you want to have, and what you will obtain. Okay? And I uh, I will call you back, Kevin. If you're watching the video, friend, I will call you back. And that's not Kevin from hashtag Verse TV. That's a different Kevin. But see, I think that might have messed up the audio for this. And now, let me see. Let me see. Check that's a different Kevin. But okay, it didn't mess up the audio. Anyway, all right. I'll call you back, friend. Yes. But yeah, I've not had that for myself. Okay. And it's interesting because I don't think that I would necessarily think about that in terms of dating someone. Like, if I'm really serious about them, I'll take them to such a restaurant. I don't know if that's how I think. I don't know. Like, I like exploring with my partner. Speaking of which, kind of which, because, we're just doing the friendship thing. We're just doing the friendship thing. Darren Fleet, the gorgeous Darren Fleet, is actually coming to Cleveland. And I, hmm, we might go to his show. I would like for us to go to his show up here. Like, I'm really curious because a lot of people, and it comes down to curiosity, okay? A lot of people are becoming, and this is no shade at all because, I'm trying to grow a social media brand myself. A lot of people become big on the social media. I don't want to say bandwagon. Oh my gosh, so many messages. But a lot of people become big in the social media world and turn around and because of their comical post will turn around and next thing you know get sold out comedy tours. And I'm in my mind I'm like, well, what are they doing? Because it's like comedians have a thing. Comedians have a set. What are they doing for a set? Or does it just so happen that they are also good and talented at creating and executing a comedic set, a comedic routine? And it's like, because I remember, and again, this is not shade. I think he might have been doing a little bit of shade. But when I say this, it's definitely not shade. It's just me thinking, like, well, what is it? Because a very popular comedian that I saw some years ago on, I think it was the Breakfast Club or whatever, he was talking about people doing comical stuff on Instagram. And I think at that time, Snapchat and stuff like that. And what he said is he's like, yeah, you can be, and at that time, Snapchat was like specifically 5 minutes. Not do it for the gram, do it for the whatever that other one was. But see how time flies on social media stuff. But do it for the do it for the some. It wasn't the gram. Like it was something before that. Do it for the do it. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But he was like, you can be funny and do funny things for like 5 seconds, 15 seconds. But how would you do for a whole hour when you have an hour long set? And I'm really curious to see this. I mean, also, I'm curious to see Darren Fleet because he's beautiful, but that's beside the point. Okay. But I am curious to see what people who make it through the social media not platform, but I guess I'll say the social media circuit. People who make it through the social media circuit into the in-person circuits. What are they doing? Like, for example, and I know she's from Baltimore. My Baltimore brothers and sisters love them some her. And just hilarious. She was one of the first people to be able to take her social media popular brand and grow into a touring comedian who makes money. And she's also somebody who, if she came here, I would be curious to see what she does. You know? I don't know. Anyway. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Darren Fleet's coming to anyway. Yeah, so we'll see what he's talking about. I think that's everything. Everything I miss at home. Nah, but I'm not that way. I remember some months ago, I heard this one woman do a post, and I love everyone. I do. And what she said, though, in her post is she was like, when I find me a black man who loves me, I am going to hold on to him and never let him go. And I'm at that point, you know. Well, I don't want to say point, but I'm at that, I'm on that plane now, you know. Never gonna let him go away. But I think I've always kind of been there, and that's what made me come across as kind of desperate, thirsty. And that's not the way to be. Anyway, I think I am going to, that's what I'm going to do. How many calls have I taken? I'll talk to y'all later, social media family. Peace. VerseTV.com. Stay blessed. That's VERSTEAV.com. Talk to y'all later.